Hey, welcome back inside the industry. Today we speak with the man, Minister K. That's right, Kevin Minister K. Harris, the president and founder of the Caribbean Gospel Marlin Awards. Now, Minister K is no stranger to the music scene. In fact, he spends some 25 years as a music executive in the areas of marketing, of producing, and so much, as he is in his own right a radio personality, a producer, media and entertainment executive, and the man behind the Marlin Awards. So much hats over his 25 years in the music and entertainment industry. Apart from all of that, Minister K is also an ordained minister and the lead pastor of Charisma Church in Nassau, Bahamas. Hey, keep it right here as we chat with the man, Kevin Harris, Minister K, all about the Marlin Awards 2022. I mean, out of utmost respect, what is the best way I could refer to you? I mean, you have so many titles: Minister K, Pastor Harris. What is the most comfortable to you?
Well, I mean, I'm one of those persons who really just come from being just Kevin Harris. But in terms of it depends upon which capacity I'm in for the purpose of which we're doing it. It's just Kevin Harris, the founder and president of the Marlin Awards, but now also serving government in terms of the opposition side.
So I see that you also have a lot of experience in media yourself, being a radio personality.
Right.
I saw you were also instrumental in a lot of television shows as well. I saw something with the Oprah Winfrey Show and Rosa Parks and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, when I got started many years ago in this whole industry of media, I formed a company around 1995 called Stormhouse Entertainment, which was really named after my stage name at the time, which was Stormy K, which was the result of the group that I was in, System 3. And so when we had stopped touring, I decided to form this company, and I got involved in media, public relations, production, etc. And I was blessed throughout the years having Stormhouse Entertainment, which later became Harris Communications and then Harris Media Group as it grew. I was blessed to have worked with having to organize events for or produce events for persons like the late great civil rights icon Rosa Parks when she would have ventured this part of the world. I was blessed to have been in a position to help coordinate and organize her event, which was held here in the Bahamas. I was also able to work with B.B. Winans and Byron Cage on the gospel segment of the opening of the Atlantis Phase 2, which of course is the Atlantis Resort here in the Bahamas. We were fortunate and blessed to have worked with a number of major artists. I was the local coordinator for that team, along with the late Kayla Edwards. And we would have been able to prepare a major choir here, an adult choir and a children's choir that performed with Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, Stephanie Mills, Stevie Wonder, and you name it. So we were really fortunate, and myself in the capacity as organizer, and of course in terms of coordination, to have been blessed with those opportunities. From the Atlantis event, I got a call from Harpo Productions, which of course is owned by Oprah Winfrey, to do the same thing for Oprah Winfrey, which I did for her taping, her historic taping at the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island, following the major opening of the Atlantis. So so throughout my career, both as an artist and then moving into the area of media and production, I was blessed to have been able to work with a number of people on the world stage.
Wow. I mean, you have quite an extensive experience when it comes to being an artist. Even in terms of the whole award system, maybe the award shows, I should say. I understand that the System 3 was nominated for a Grammy Award as well.
Yeah, we were blessed. System 3 really came out of BFM, Bahamas Faith Ministries, the late Dr. Marcus Romero. When I first started, I actually produced a group called PD Rappers, which were the first gospel rap group in the Bahamas and in the Caribbean at that time. That was around 1986. And PD stood for Phil and Dwayne. And that was my first foray into producing music and being in management. And after Phil and Dwayne, or PD Rappers, we expanded into System 3. And originally, I was not supposed to be a member of the group. I was really just supposed to be the producer. But because of circumstances, I ended up being a member. That group was formed. We released the first ever rap album in the Bahamas and in the Caribbean, and that was around 1989. And from there, System 3 changed one member. Charles Camp was replaced with Delano Johnson. And that was where we started to grow even more. Delano was a musician, a tremendous vocalist. And so myself, Antonio Thompson, and Delano Johnson went on to continue with this group. And we were picked up by a Nashville-based agency who managed us, got us some tremendous opportunities. But it wasn't until we switched management to a lady by the name of Lisa Hoggs out of California, who was a tremendous friend of the late Frank Wilson. Frank Wilson was a Motown producer back in the day, became a born-again Christian and a pastor, and he had this idea to do the first gospel album, or to produce the first gospel album for Motown. And so they accepted it, and he was filling up the roster with Boyz II Men, Temptation, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, everybody, you name it. And Lisa approached him and said, hey, what about giving these guys from the Bahamas an opportunity on this big record? And we were cool with Frank, and Frank said, tell you what, if Stevie Wonder approves your demo, you're on. And so we went to work with the producer for Patti LaBelle, recorded our demo in Los Angeles. They played it for Stevie Wonder, who had just landed, I believe, in Nashville. So they played it over the phone from the studio in Los Angeles. He said yes. We made the record, and we recorded our particular part of it with Smokey Robinson. Excellent. And that was a tremendous opportunity. Wow. You could never ever repeat. And so that album was nominated for a Grammy Award, and subsequently so was System 3. So that's kind of the backstory behind that.
Right. I wanted to sort of highlight you and spotlight you a bit, because behind every great initiative there's a great vision, and behind every great vision there's a great visionary. And I mean, I know the Marlin Awards would have sort of birthed out of the Bahamas Marlin Awards before you got into the Caribbean Gospel Music Marlin Awards. So I know that it had to have some sort of a passion that drove you into what it has become today. I know that the Harris Media Group would have been the first company, I should say, would have been producing the Marlin Awards. And then you went on to the new, is it the Oracle Media?
Yes. Right. Yes. Well, when I was in California making that record with Motown, I had this vision. I realized that in the Bahamas, we didn't have any award ceremony to honor Bahamian gospel music. And so the idea...
should I say the Caribbean at large?
Right, at that time at large. But, I was starting at home. And so I came back from Los Angeles with this crazy idea to launch the Marlin Awards. And so what ended up happening was, that was in 1995. We started working on the awards. And in March of 1996, the first Marlin Awards was launched, which is now the Atlantis Theater, in March 16, 1996. And it really gave us a tremendous amount of momentum and energy, because we saw the reaction of our local market, and immediately the Lord was saying, listen, you got to expand this thing. And so what we did was, we ended up just really staying faithful to the local market for about 4 years. And then in 2000, we expanded it to include several Caribbean categories. And that's when we started having people like Papa San and Colleen Davis and others who joined us in the Bahamas that year for really introducing those categories. And then in 2002, we fully merged and rebranded and became known as the Caribbean Gospel Music Marlin Awards. And that's when it really, really started to really flow and expand. And at the time, it was being produced by the company Stormhouse Entertainment when we first started. And then we moved on to Harris Communications. And just recently, I decided to move the production company name from Harris Communications, or Harris Media, pardon me, to Oracle Media. And so, but it is still a subsidiary of our Harris group of companies.
Excellent. I mean, the Marlin Awards has been a staple in Caribbean gospel music. I mean, a lot of artists look forward to this every year. And you particularly use a word, you look at the outstanding achievement. I was looking at your nomination speech.
One important note, The Marlin Awards can never judge a person's ministry. This particular process is about going through recorded material and determining the most outstanding performance in each category. It is never a reflection on the quality or the quantity of someone's ministry. I thought it's so important for us to say that because sometimes the enemy can try to sow seeds of confusion by suggesting that somehow one person is better than the next. That's why we don't use the word best. We have settled for the word outstanding. We think it captures exactly what we are about. So tonight's nominations do not represent who's better than anybody. It simply represents what the judges have determined as the outstanding material.
And you were explaining that it's not about competing with other artists for the best or the better spot, but you were just highlighting the outstanding achievements. So what is that you were so emphasizing on at the end of your nomination speech that day?
But some awards allow what they would call voting opportunities by the general public. We didn't want that for the Marlins. We wanted it to be an industry-based awards where it was based upon the outstanding achievement or based upon the merit of the performance or the production of a song, or in a vocal category, the vocal performance of that artist. And so we took the stance from day one that it will not be an open voting opportunity where somebody can get their auntie, their mommy, and their sister to just throw in a bunch of votes and they win an award. We didn't feel that it really told us what was truly the most outstanding within that particular category.
Got you.
So basically, we don't use the word best. We settled on outstanding because we think it captures the level of excellence that we're looking for. And our system of judging right now is based upon selecting a team of industry professionals that are comprised of artists, songwriters, producers, radio personalities that make up a team that go through every single song that's submitted, and it gives everybody a fair opportunity to not only be considered, but also in case of nominations, to be nominated. So those persons that take the time to be a part of our process, they are guaranteed that they have a fair chance and opportunity. It's not based upon how many people vote for you and I get more of my people, you get more of your people. It's really based upon the work and the body of work. And so that's why, one, we don't use the word best because we don't want to really conjure up that concept that in the world system, it's about me saying I am better than you. That's not the kingdom way. It is really not based upon someone's ministry, the quality of their ministry, the authentic part of their ministry. This is just based upon your work, your sonic recording. And that's one of the reasons why we've taken those positions.